Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on creating a routine or responsibility board, whatever you want to call it really. And I'm doing this for my children. They are 4 and 2.5. I'm really excited about this. I saw something similar in Costco a few weeks ago, and it was only £9 or £10, but there were several bits to it that I knew I wouldn't be able to use or didn't want to use, and I didn't want to buy something that I wouldn't be able to use completely, so I thought I'd try and create one myself with things that actually pertain to us. So I've got the board here that I'm using. You could use anything really. You could use a whiteboard for this. You could use a piece of poster board. You could use just if you have an old frame lying around like this, for instance, you could use that. I've got this one left over from my Ramadan calendar, which I will link above and below so you can see what I did with that. So this comes in really handy, and it was very inexpensive. This is an IKEA, one of the Ribba frames. This is the larger size. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 70 by 50. But I can't remember exactly. I'll leave a link below. And they come in white, blue, and black, I think. So you can choose whatever works for you, really. So what I've done is I don't have anything on the back of this because I didn't really want to stick anything onto it for now, and I kind of liked the contrast of the brown and you know everything else that I have, because everything is mainly white. But if you wanted to stick something on the background to make it more colorful, you know, feel free to do so. I like to keep things looking quite simple. And I went ahead and printed out everything that I would need, all the printables, all of these basically, you know, the heading here that says our routines, and then these little bits like morning, evening, afternoon, and then what are we doing today, and then obviously the little cards are all on my website. I will leave the link in the description box below. I've also put together these. Now these I've printed out with my children's name on them, but on the printable, these ones are sort of, they have this little gray background, but they are blank. So you could write your children's names on, or you could just, if you're really good with PDFs, you could add text to it and then print it out, whatever works for you. I also have this little piece of whiteboard paper from a old planner that I used to have. I will show you what I'm going to be doing with that. So what I'm doing now is I've printed and laminated everything, so I'm just going to work on positioning it first, so that I can make sure wherever I'm sticking things, I know that they're going to be in the right places. And then I'll go ahead and I'm going to use these Velcro dots. They're really strong ones. I'll leave a link to them in the description box below. All part of the routine so that I can easily move them around if I need to. Once you have your layout sorted, you want to go ahead and use, I'm using double-sided tape basically to put behind each of these bits to stick them on. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Velcro on each of these pieces. So that is all of the main title bits stuck down. These bits are all stuck down. The whiteboard sheet is stuck down. All I now have to do is put the actual Velcro dots on the back of these, and then create a little magnetic thing here for them to actually check off the things that they're meant to be doing. Again, if you don't want them to mark off in some way or stick on something in some way to say I've done this, you don't have to bother with that bit. You don't even have to bother with names. You could just get away with having the images of what needs to be done morning, afternoon, and evening, and get away with that. I want them to actually, pick up a magnet and put it underneath each one when they have finished doing it, for more accountability, and because I think that they're at that stage where they would find that fun. So I'm going ahead and doing that, but you don't have to do that if you have older children. I've got this section called What Are We Doing Today? And this basically covers things like activities or things that you might be doing that specific day that you don't do every single day. So for instance, I've got one for madrasa, I've got one that says going on a trip, I've got another one, I've got some that say arts and crafts, cycling, swimming if they have swim lessons, football if they have football lessons, and that will just, those you will just change every day to reflect what it is that you're doing that specific day. About this Velcro method is that if you make a mistake, so for instance, I really wanted this before this one, and now all I need to do is pull this off and pull this one off and replace them. Great, so we've now got all the tasks on there. We've got the names on there, we've got everything that we need to have stuck on. I am going to put some dots on the bottom here so that I can stick activities as and when I want them. And the other thing as well, that so for example, on Mondays I can put the library down, on on Fridays you could put masjid down, whatever you want to do. The printable also gives you 14 blank cards that you can cut out as well. So say you have something that isn't on my list, say for example you go forest school or something like that, you could always write that on and then stick it wherever you want, or make a little drawing, whatever you want to do really. It's just really handy to have wipeable cards that you can just replace anytime that you want. The reason I have the little whiteboard sheet here is because my son is learning how to read now, and I thought that would be really nice to kind of write on a word of the day sort of thing, or even a little message to them if they're doing really well with the routines, whatever I want to do really with the whiteboard. I just thought that it would be a nice addition to the board, and I had it handy, so I thought why not. You can actually buy sheets like this. They're very inexpensive. They're called whiteboard sheets. They come in different sizes. You could just buy one of those, cut it in half, or just use the whole size depending on the size of board that you have. I'm going to go ahead now and use my magnetic tape. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm hoping that it will work, but basically I want to use the magnetic tape and just basically stick a strip all along there and then cover it with this washi tape because this is so ugly. I don't like dark things, so I'm gonna try that out and see how it looks. Okay, so we're all done with the board now. I did change some things around. As you can see, I changed the magnets that were there, the little magnetic strips, into the Velcro, because I figured that if my magnets weren't going to be strong enough, it would just frustrate me having them fall off constantly. And also I realized that the base of these magnetic clips was more or less similar to the base of the little Velcro dots. So I'm going to use these now. Now these are much easier for them to just Velcro on and for us to just take off. And it looks better because there isn't that ugly tape and like tape all over the place. So that was a bit of a change, but at least you've seen kind of my thought process as it happens. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the wall up here. That is because this is such a light frame, and that's one of the reasons that I chose it really for the types of projects that we have around the house. You can easily use command strips. You don't need to use nails or anything to hang it with. There's 3 of them here, and they will hang up to 5.4 kilos, as you can see there, and that is nowhere near even 2 kilos. So it'd be nice and strong on the wall, and I've used it several times. It doesn't damage your wall in any way, so if you're renting or anything like that, this will be perfect. Okay, that's now up on the wall and it's secure. I just had to use, you can see that it's quite secure, and I've just put it up. All I had to use was 4 of those command strips, and they worked brilliant. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to use these. Well, they will use them. They just need to take one of these. Anything that you've got, any stickers, anything really will do, to be honest. If you've got like foam shapes and things like that, those will work. You could just stick some of these Velcro dots on the back of it. Basically, that's what they would be doing there. Made bed, that could be removed and used for tidy up. And essentially they would just fill it in that way. I hope that this helps you and your family, and for you to not have to repeat yourself a million times, because that's what I'm really hoping that this will help with. I feel like if they know exactly what's expected of them, there's less sort of back and forth and less having to remind them, because it's all up here. It's all like in words and in pictures, and it works for everyone really. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. The printable is available on my website. I will leave the link below. I will also leave a link to the Velcro dots that I used, and anything else that might be useful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend that might find it useful. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I'll see you in my next one.